Hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sussex Saturday. I am VS Speaks Royally. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday thus far, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in this beautiful world. What a week, what a week, what a week. I hope you've had a good week. For those in the squad, which if you're here, I consider you part of the squad. That have been feeling sick and not well and having other issues, you're in our prayers and sending healing energy out to you and hope that all, turns the corner and that you start feeling better, etc. So, taking a sip of my nice hot tea. So, hello to everyone that has joined as of the moment I started yapping. I was saying hello to everybody as you were coming in. So to all the channel members that are in here, to everyone else, I do want to get myself together. So Twisted Thursday, I was so outdone when I realized, and I have to say thank you, Firefly. I did miss all the notifications in StreamYard because I a lot of times will skip a lot of the messages. So thank you again, Firefly. I did thank you in the members section, but she had gifted 10 memberships and that just threw me and I was completely off and I'm sure y'all were laughing at me because I was all over the place, but I do thank you. So oh no, Anna, what's going on? Your sister-in-law's in ICU? Prayers for her. Definitely prayers for her. So let me see. Benjamin's joined. Valerie's joined. Be safe out there at the bus stop, Valerie. People are crazy. Clara, Tier. I hope Carol D. Yeah. I hope I haven't missed anyone else. But to those in the clouds and at the space station, hello to you. Happy Saturday. I know it's early for many people and some are running errands. So anyway, let me get on with how I do. Hey, CG. Hey, Mina. Hey, Max. Greetings. How are you? Whew. All right. How I start off all my Sussex Saturdays. Disclaimer, copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. My favorite quote of Harry and Meghan: each of us can change our communities. All of us can change the world. So just a few things before I get into just discussing chapters 11 through 21. The first thing up is, I'm sure most of the true squaddies, I'll just say it like that, who are on each of the live streams and know about this information, but I wanted to share it with the broader community. Better Up has announced that they're having a 2-day summit called Uplift. where the leaders, icons, and executives have an opportunity to learn how to drive performance and support their organization. Most important asset, their people. So they're saying it's not just another conference. Of course, we know that Prince Harry is an executive there, and he will be a speaker. So they already know they're going to have to provide some type of way for the media in the UK, because they stalk everything that Harry and or Meghan does. But it's March 7th and 8th in San Francisco, which is a beautiful city if you've never been. Yeah, the food, just it's just a lovely city. So and if you go, please go see the famous prison that sits off the waters there. But anyway, so March 7th through 8th, the link to register is in the description box. There is an in-person and a virtual. So you decide which one you want to to attend. So I just wanted to provide that. All right. I see a whole lot of, hey, Marshall, how are you? Let me see. Hey, kids, how you doing? Feel like I'm missing so much. Let me see. CG, I think I said hi to you. If not, hey, channel member. Let's see. All right, I think I've gotten everybody. Let me see. Anna's just giving us, she got an infection. She's diabetic. She got a sore, got in the hospital too late, and had to remove so much tissue. She had to be flown out to a different hospital. Oh, Lord of mercy. Yeah, she definitely had to be extra careful. Hey, Marjorie, how are you? Happy Sabbath to you. All right. Mabel, how you doing? All right, back over here. So this is going to be like a little mini trash time, like so many that if you blink, you're going to miss it. So Mrs. S and all you trash time lovers, get ready. Okay. It's your favorite time. Trash time. Trash time. Trash time. Now I know that I usually try to stay away from trash time while I'm doing the review of the book, but we're going to get there in a second. So this one I had to, because I saw it this morning right before I went and started the live stream. So, okay. This nut, one of the Rhoda RP tweeted, so I'm not quite clear why there has been so much bile directed at William and Kate online, as if. It's almost as if it's coordinated by fans, in quote, of the Sussexes or other cyber warrior groups. Number one, there's not the bile that he's talking about against space and cosplay. I do like how suddenly, oh my gosh, there supposedly is some, about the bile that's on there, but yet he was part of what was done to Meghan, but never words like this said when it came to defending Meghan. But, I just had to share it so that the squad is aware that, they're always trying to not only smear them, but smear us, make us look bad. But see, we have a lot behind us as far as, contributing, putting our money where our support is, in a sense. So RP can go RP himself. How about that? All right, so let's get into Spare. Let me just check comments really quickly. Okay. Mrs. S, I nearly spit my tea out. Another Dickie, the end. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Kids, Church and Ellie, someone commented on a picture of them, basically didn't do any research, just came for photo ops. Oh, Lord. Benjamin, what hate towards Will and Kate? That's laughable. They're projecting. Exactly. They're trying to flip the narrative, change the narrative. We know how the Rhoda, their PR firm, because that's what the Rhoda is, does. So I had to share that since I saw it, and I wanted to be able to share that, the joy with you all, so that you can get a laugh, because most time trash time we do laugh, but yeah, they're trying to change the narrative as they do every so often. Clarissa, ain't got time for that nonsense. We are not trolls. There you go. We do stay in our lanes pretty much. Like, I don't understand. Every once in a while there's a silly comment that's left under one of the live streams after it's ended, and I usually just say thanks for the engagement. Now, I might, depending on the mood I'm in, and if I'm in full Leo mood, give them a little bit more and go back and forth a couple of times, but I just don't have the time or energy. Like, I'm not out there on other channels, especially knowing how YouTube works now, and that if you just click on it to like thumbs it down, that you're giving them engagement. So the best thing is to say, don't recommend channel, and keep it pushing. There you go. All right. Marshar. Richie Palm Glow is saying, we Sussex squaddies are doing that to Sir Peg more. Sir Peg me more, and lady, I won't peg Willie. No, LOL. Marshar, I can't. Woo. Marjorie, as usual, the Royal Rats making up stories that if this is the gather, it will be noted that no one is spewing any bile against them. No, they are trying to neutralize Sussex Squad. Well, what happens is, as we know, if there's a few comments left under their social media, they'll leave it so that's their example of the bile. Sometimes they will delete, especially some people just put a rose emoji, and those are deleted right away. Quite obvious, I would say, that someone's a little fearful just to even see an emoji of a rose. But yeah. Traditionally, the abusers are now playing victim. Child, please, yeah. It's just, everyone should be aware. Hopefully, if you are on the other social media apps, you're not even engaging. Just block accounts. I love it that when Squad will post something, tweet something out, and you can see the derangers just pop up out of nowhere, and it just makes it easy enough to block and keep it moving. So yeah. Hello to anyone else I may have missed. Okay, so traditionally they have another new Land Rover Defender. These two have no common sense. Well, and I don't know if she was out recently cosplay, or if it was an old clip of her trying to talk, make sense. But yeah, I've already thrown down my challenges that she does a 5-minute speech, no index cards, on the subject that is why she's there visiting said place. I did see that they both visited a food bank but didn't bring anything. What the fuck are y'all what are y'all doing over there? Do y'all have any common sense at all? If you show up at a food bank, it's not to smile and shake hands. You should be coming, setting an example. Bring a couple of trunkfuls, because you have several vehicles in your entourage of food, or have it delivered just before you get there or right after you leave. Something. Don't just come empty-handed. But anyway, okay. Let me see, Michael. Is the world who is talking badly about work shy? Willie and Mumbles Middleton, not the squaddies, the world. Harry's book shined a light on them, and now they're getting it. Just what they deserve. Yeah, so they thought nothing. She was canceled a long time ago, Claire. Like, when you finally realized just how nutty nuts. Yeah, but all right, let me get into the review. Chapters 11 through 21 Again, if you haven't read the book, listened to the audio, then hopefully you will. And this isn't, you might want to click off and come back at another point. But yeah, let me see. They could have made a donation to the food. Something. They get millions of dollars. My goodness. You're right, Tier. They could have made a donation. Good morning, Gwendolyn. Alan. They brought a wave and a smile. Oh, and speaking of the book, so Patricio has offered 2 books. I know I have the one. Alan, I believe you had one at that book. I need to receive emails from squaddies who are not able to get the book but want the book. She's willing to donate. You also have to understand that if you want the book, that's your personal address or a mailing address that you want to receive it at. I don't feel comfortable having anyone's personal information, but I will do what I must to get the books to the individuals. But I did want to put that out. I've told her that I would, and I forgot on Thursday. So, all right. So, Alan, this is for you. You're making it rain, 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 rain down on me. Mwah. Mwah. Thank you. Mwah. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now I have to just let me flip. Oh, Nutty Doctor, thank you so much. Oh, you just like hearing my non-singing. This is for you. You're making it rain, 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 rain down on me. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm just going to flip over just momentarily. I'll keep on talking. I need to look at YouTube because there's some notifications that I may not see, hence, yeah, how I missed all those giftings the other day. Okay. And then if some of you who have been members for a while do a milestone message, I don't see those, but Church and Lee is usually really good with letting me know. Okay. Cookies and cream, she will learn to keep her mouth quiet. I don't know why they don't realize the ancestors, Megan's ancestors on one side of her family don't play that. Okay. I'll just say it like that. Mina, you're almost done. Yeah. I thought of getting the audio and then I'm like, but I like reading the book too, which I've fallen off a little bit. So I have a lot to catch up with, especially by next Saturday, but I have my notes, several pages. So, rah, here we go. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Woo. Okay. I'm not fooling with you, Mrs. S, right now. I see that comment. Marsha, you expect Baldy Mop to give away his little scraps after all? Only $1 billion or 1 billion pounds, not enough to keep broomsticks and Botox heaven. Woo, chow. Well, it's not just her that, has to be taken care of. I'm just going to leave it at that, and y'all can run with the imagination on that one. Okay. I have not missed anything else. Thank you again for the super stickers, super chats. Okay. Chapter 11. Harry was finishing up discussion on the Africa trip that he thought was a moment in time to, bond with his father, but he realized it was a working trip and, just a little history. He learned a little bit of the history of his family, so to speak. But this really stuck out at me, and it was the last paragraph. On the way, I told myself the whole trip had been a smash. Not only a terrific adventure, but a bonding experience with Pa. Surely life would now be altogether different. He was so young. I'll give my overall when we get to the, okay. Because otherwise I'm going to start losing it, and I don't want to do that right now. Okay, so chapter 12. Harry speaks of the kindness. He's giving you an idea of his school, so it is his early years. He speaks of kindness of the teachers, basically leaving him alone. Why add to, I guess the misery that they could see from him, but he did have one in particular, Mr. Hugh Games, who rode his back in a sense, especially when it came down to family history. Like he would, make fun. Oh, you don't know, that's your family. You don't know about this and that in history, because he was a history teacher. But it's funny how the adult made assumptions on what is taught or discussed within the royal family. Like they're not sitting around, oh yes, Henry VIII, or anything about, obviously, the history that goes way, 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 way back. Mm-hmm. They don't sit around and discuss that. They barely talk to each other. Okay. About real things. If it's involving what's in the tabloid, they love that. They sit around. That's what their breakfast chatter is about. But anyway, let me move on. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Chapter 13, Harry describes the late night strolls, I call them, that all the guys would take, doing the what you're not supposed to do, because that was not allowed after curfew to be up and out. But this struck me. He said, I was lonely and homesick. So for him, it was getting out there and being amongst, but his father wasn't shit. You send him off to school for him to kind of make a way in life when he's reeling from his mother's death. Like, yeah, you ain't shit, sir. Okay. And let me just read, because I made a note to myself. Where is it? Okay. He's talking about the school, but then he's like, a trip to Mr. Gerald's office. Whatever it was, I know I didn't mind. There was no torture Ludgrove could dish out that surpassed what was going on inside me. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't have this book, I'm just saying. He really... Torture wasn't even by, principal, teachers, matron, whatever the heck they called them at these boarding schools, which, yeah, some of them were a little sadist, but I'll just kind of leave it at that. But chapter 14 had me laughing because it made me reminisce about high school, my high school experience, go figure. But it was when he's talking about the teacher ringing the bell, just ringing the bell, trying to get the attention, where, adolescent children are not paying, these boys are not paying him any mind. But this is also the chapter in the time of his life that the James Hewitt rumors began. I just made a note to myself. I was like, facts don't matter. Here's someone going through a very life-altering shift in life, because when you lose your mom, your life does shift. So at the age of 12, his life shifted. He's now, 13? But now people are throwing out the rumors that he's not a Wales, that his father is somebody else. Now, his mother didn't meet said James Hewitt until well after Harry was born. So make that make sense. But it was another way to torture him. If we also, most of the squad knows, because he is a ginger redhead, the Spencers have redheads. It's in their lineage. But also, if you look at younger pictures of Prince Philip, his grandfather, you will see that Harry, at this point, looks like Philip back then. So, knowing that some of the reporters, Rhoda, even were pushing to get a DNA test of him. Horrible. It was insulting and still is, because people still throw that out, no matter how much it's been pretty much dismissed. Like he mentioned, like, if his father thought it, he never said it. Charles knew better, and I'm sure them children were, especially Space, was tested. They have to make sure, or they just wouldn't speak about it. But it's insulting to Diane, and why don't you test the consort's children? I bet you won't dare do that, will you? Okay, let me behave. So chapter 15, I will say this: children are very intuitive. So Harry mentions the lack of stability, the lack of warmth, and the lack of love in the home. Knowing that there was trouble brewing, children are very intuitive. So, they knew that their mother were not happy, but for him to break it out like that, the stability, the warmth, and love, lack of it, a lack of those three items. So yeah. This is when they met the consort. They also asked their father not to marry her. Like, you can be with her, you can be happy, all that rah-rah, but just don't marry her. But that's when her PR game started. So I'm sure at that point she was like, game on. And I'm sure Harry was a little bit more forth with his don't marry her. He was younger. But yeah. Yeah. Denise, I see you out there. Yes. Why don't they test? Yeah. What is this, Diane? It was also revealing that all Harry said about his family's response to Diana's death was Pa telling him she died, putting his hand, yeah. And then funeral talk, no grandmothering from Liz like she claimed. Well, the narratives. But this is one thing, excuse me as I'm drinking my tea, but this is one thing that many, I guess, because, I don't know, the time that we were reeling over Diana's death, but if QE2 wasn't motherly to her own children, the hell did we really think she was going to be that way with her grandchildren? Please. Even though it was the heir's children, but whatever. I always found that hard to believe, because it just took her too long to do the right thing. Diana was important. She is the mother of someone that will be king one day. So to try to dismiss her, yeah, or they tried. That nearly took down Diana in death. Nearly took down the monarchy just from their own action, or inaction, I should say. Marshar, Harry is a defendant of kings because with his book he came back to burn down their unroyal house. The calls were coming from within the house, but Harry is burning that biatch down. Yeah. Exactly. Black Queen. So Willie didn't look like Chucky either. So what's their point? Anything. It's whatever you get. Anything to disparage Harry. Despair. I mean, the title says it all. So, yeah, he is decent. Cookies and cream. He isn't hot enough for the. Well, he's too hot for them, because the women that have met him, I even think of, how Doria described him upon first meeting him, and then Lauren, the former nanny of Archie, just saying, tall, redhead, well, Ginger, she called him Ginger. Of course, everyone mentions his blue eyes, and I think it was one of the clips in the docuseries that I actually realized how blue his eyes are. So, yeah, eat your heart out, everybody. Hey, Sis Hilda, I see you. All right, back to the book. Let me see. Chapter 16 is when he started at Eton, and he was told by Space, "You don't know me, Harold, and I don't know you. This has never changed, everybody. This has never changed. When we see them out in public, or we saw them out in public together, it's all for PR. Space has never wanted any association with his younger brother. I know that older siblings sometimes do that, but when it comes down to the thick and thin, if somebody came at their younger sibling, they'll whoop ass. Meanwhile, I see Space standing on the sidelines cheering on the other person that would be going after Harry. So that's how. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with your comments as I'm reading through my notes. Mrs. S, those people are missing the gene that would give them the ability to show compassion to anyone around them. As I sip my tea. Well, thankfully, they stopped marrying so close in their family line. Maybe that had something to do with it. Let me move on. I am skipping some comments just so you understand. If I miss it and it's hell of important, just put it back, in the chat. All right, chapter 17, Harry was treated badly at school. Now, at Eton, there was a dress code. You would think an older sibling would have taken the time to be like, here, let me just give you the rundown. Even if they don't want to be bothered with you, let me give you the rundown. This is what you have to do. Let me show you how to wear the uniform, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Harry basically had to find out on his own. It was at the time that he decided he was going to be a dry bob. Which in sports, that's the ones that are on land. So if they were wet bob, they were, into the water aquatic sports. But he's the cricket, football, rugby, polo. We see that is what Harry's into even to this day. So, yeah. And he said rugby indulged his rage. And it was like it was quoted red mist. He must have just unleashed on people. He had to have unleashed on them to be nicknamed like Red Mist. See, if Space had been paying attention, he would have understood and told, family, back off, just back off. Ooh. Almost spit my tea out, Mrs. S. Yeah. Let me move on. Chapter 18 is when Harry, being a kid, not thinking, sat down and was like, yeah, they're all shaving their heads, and he had his head shaved. He realized the mistake after. The fact is, some of us do when we have our hair cut, but, he made the front page of the Mirror where he was nicknamed Harry the Skinhead. Now, they did, as he described, alter the picture. Is that any shock? But that's the start of the nightmare with the consort, I guess, sold him out. Every little thing that was happening, especially at school, how would they know about that? Especially someone with the picture. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 19, he broke his thumb and it was made into front page news. Harry's had an accident. Like, he even laughs about it because he was like, it was almost like, I was on death's door or something. And it was just, I broke my thumb. But it was just how the Rhoda does. And they haven't stopped. Okay, chapter 20. The naughty one became his moniker, I guess you can call it. The Rolling Royal Melodrama. That's basically how they were summing up Harry. Every little thing, it's reported out. For the tabloids to make such a big deal of a broken thumb, especially since it wasn't the heir, but I really want to know. Now I really want to know. Not really, but I do. All the shenanigans that Space was getting into back then. Because it will just basically make all that he has gotten into as an adult. We're like, oh yeah, he's been doing it all along. But all eyes, they had to drive all eyes to focus on Harry and make Harry out to be the bad guy. So, chapter 21, Harry was sent back to Africa, with Space and Tiggy, quote, the nanny. And he does mention in there, I wonder if Mummy saw her Tiggy as her spare. That, yeah, it just makes you pause a little bit. But it is the moment when he fell in love with Africa. Everything about it. Animals, the views, and then there's times when they were sitting around the fire and talking. So knowing as a child how much he fell in love with Africa, it's no surprise that has continued into his adulthood. And that is the place that he and Megan basically, when he invited her and they hadn't known each other but a month, pretty much solidified their relationship, that they were truly meant for each other. But that's chapters 11 and 21, or through 21. So I'm just going to jump into the comments because I can see some of y'all are cutting up, Marshall. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to scroll up and then just grab a couple of comments and then work my way down as y'all are chatting it up. So, Catherine, Harry's blue eyes shine through on the People magazine. I saw the cover. I did not get the magazine only because People is shady as shit too. So I just was like, yeah, oh no, we're not going there. Yeah, okay. Gwendolyn, I really don't believe. Uh-oh. Something must have been said up above, and if I go look for it, I'm gonna miss it. Okay. Denise and Camilla's kids are Charles spit and cheek rub image. Oh Lord. Well, I'm just gonna leave that. Let me move on. Benjamin, Charles and Diana had a comfortable separation agreement. The Queen's courtiers messed it up. Well, I won't even say they're her courtiers. I don't think she was running anything. I don't believe Charles is running anything. One day Space is going to have his canones run by them too. He thinks he's running shit right now, but he's really not. But the courtier's decision to remove Diana's security and then making it that she turned down the security. Why would she turn it down when she was being hounded every time she walked out her door? But yeah. 1 year after that divorce, right? 1 year after the divorce. Don, even though older siblings sometimes want to separate from the younger one, in this case, both had just lost their mom. You'd think they would have been a bonding factor. You would have thought. There must be some brain, some brain work that's done on the heirs. Like they must go into some cave somewhere and, melt their brains, twist it all around and then put it back in and then sew up the back of their head and then, plop the hair. Well, we'll find out if there's a scar back there since, Space is losing his hair rapidly. But I'm just saying it's got to be something. It's got to be something. Oh, oh my goodness. Tear, shaving his head took me out, hence the name Spike. Yeah. The fact they had it on the cover of, I think it was the Mirror. with it bald, and it wasn't bald. He just had it spiked. But it was just funny him recounting how he ran to his big brother, who just laughed at him too, but really wasn't consoling in what he needed. Yeah. Marshall really should shave off that mess of baldness. Kate needs to put in more hair weaves because she's losing her edges. Okay. I need you to behave, Marshall. Woo, okay. Maybe I scrolled back too far in the comments. Woo, Black Queen Chucky was slinging all over the place, and it wasn't like who's somebody that he wasn't a good looking man to me, just to me. I guess it's the power. I mean, you see some of these men who, like, I think of Boris Johnson, like really? And all these women just keep, falling in bed with it. Like, oh, yeah, whatever. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, okay, see, you're making me nauseous. Mrs. S, my husband's have a group of friends who have taken to just dropping by, not to say hello, but to have a drink. Like this house is a damn rum house. I'm biting my tongue. Oh, geez. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. That's special. Gwendolyn, the magazine is absolutely fabulous. Love his picture. Yeah, but people sucks because they will slam his wife and do all shady shit. So they're just they jumped on the bandwagon as far as for Spare. I get it. He did the article insert and all that, but yeah, on that. Churchill and Mrs. S, give them a special drink that make them be in the bathroom for days. Only that it kicks in once they leave. She doesn't want them in her house blowing up her bathrooms. You do understand that, Church Nelly. It's got to be something that kicks in later, much later, much later. Just saying. Hi to everyone who has joined. Woo, let me get over here. Benjamin. Mrs. VS, they wanted that $18 million back. They are notoriously cheap, and who knows what life insurance they had on her. Any news on whether Harry got an inheritance from his grandmother? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I think I asked from time to time, did they read her will, or did they lock it like Phillips was locked? Although we kind of understand maybe why Phillips was locked. But no, I haven't heard anything. Oh, that's interesting. And I know 18 million was a lot back then, but then again, yeah, I guess cosplay would get what, 36, 50 million maybe, since that was a number floated out there, even though it was in relation to allegedly King C3 trying to negotiate with Meghan, but that's a bunch of bullshit. But, maybe that's the amount they want, cosplay to soak up and take in. Allegedly. Diane. Once Diana went to Paris but didn't come back, Homilla turned up the heat and went in full on Harry. How sad for him. Pa is scared of current wife. Wonder why? Because she knows where the bodies are buried, pegged, and everywhere else. Okay. Mm-hmm. She probably pulled out her strap on. Let me behave. I'm going to move on. Let me move on. Let me move on. Clara, that explains why Willie lost his hair and still losing it. Hateful son of a gun. Okay. Black Queen, why don't UK have solid laws to control the gutter press? Who is really in control of the country? Makes zero sense to be how the rags have zero filter. It is amazing. I know at one point, especially here in the U.S., the tabloids used to be a little bit out of control, as well as the paparazzi. There is a movie, if you all haven't seen it, called Paparazzi. Check it out. sometimes it's a little triggering only because I think of like Diana, and it's when all those flashes are going off while they're in a car, and then there's a car accident, and I'll leave it at that. So, but yeah, I'll just say the paparazzi did get their just in this situation. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mrs. S. Back in the 70s, we did not look at King C3's bat ears. He was a prince, and that cretin appeared cute. Not to me. Whew, you said bat ears. I'm done. Whew, okay. Kids, Mrs. S., I'm not mad and don't want to overstep. Mr. S needs to speak to his friends and have boundaries about coming over to the house. Now that's a conversation. Does he have a man cave, Mrs. S? Because, sometimes at the man cave, hey, yeah, come on by. I mean, unannounced. Yeah. Somebody's going to get embarrassed showing up unannounced. Anna, Diane Hawkins, he is a chicken. That old bat mattress mistress homewrecker. Her judgment day is coming. Yeah, well, I hope they whoop it up. I see the different artists that they're bringing in for. They must be dangling a lot of money to get these artists to perform. But it's one night. It is history making. But yeah. Anyway. If he should see it, cookies and cream, everyone will need to contact ABC to complain. The misinformation the View is spouting against the Sussexes isn't only inciting hate, it's also danger. It really needs to stop. Who's doing what? Like, I don't even watch the View. That's would hit them harder. Contact, the advertisers and just say, is this what you really want to be attached to? Stop watching and let their views drop off and let advertisers start pulling out. They'll change their tune. I guess they think that's a way of having, Harry. They need to stick to politics or whatever the heck else is going on. Why are they still talking about Harry and Meghan? Oh, are they jealous too? When none of them on that panel even had a chance? Okay. Let me go on. Especially since the one that was on The View is now working for one of the tabloids in the UK and used her father's name to make her name. And, now waxes poetically against Meghan when she allegedly, when she was on The View, claimed Meghan's American and patriotism this and patriotism that, but money making people change real quick. Sure do. Let's see. Anna Mrs. says, I've seen pictures of him with Dumbo ears. Absolutely not handsome. Instead of hoping into a plane, hop into his ears. Oh, Lord. Sylvia, Mrs. V.S., I agree. People magazine is shady. In my opinion, they do not regard Duchess Meghan as royal. You best believe, sorry about that. You best believe if Harry is on the cover now, they will plant cosplay in space next. Well, Woo! They can do what they wish, but yeah, I wasn't giving them the money. I'd rather have bought the book that I bought. And I mean, the magazine cover was, I have to say, but they know how to draw you in. And of course, Harry's face will draw you in. Just saying. Anna, whose ears did Trump get them from? Oh, you know what? I'm going to leave that alone. Remember who his parents, how related they are. That's probably somewhere, move that on. And, there were rumors about QE2 too back in the day. since Philip didn't like to stay home, allegedly. All right, Mrs. S. I'm having so much fun at the expense of that CNN person who lost his cushy nighttime gig only to be out reporting from the field like a reporter just out of school. In the cold and everything. I saw him. Yeah. I guess he's down in Memphis. Or I was taking that he was. Hey, Lane, how are you in the UK? I hope you're well. Alma. All right. Just a few more comments and I'm going to get ready to wrap it up and get out of here. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, although it is scrolling at the bottom there. And share out if you can. And thank you so much. Let me see, Black Queen. Why are the unroyals scared of secrets being revealed? Aren't they beloved by their brainwashed peasant subjects? Won't their cult keep excusing any immoral and inhumane crap for 1,000 years? Yes. Yes. But it's all about the look of the perfect family when nobody is perfect. That's why, they had have controlled it way back, and I think I want to blame Charles, really, but maybe it started back with Philip just to keep the folks quiet, and Margaret's shenanigans, were blasted all over the place. Oh, Elaine, you were asleep in the chair? Yeah, it's nap time. So the cookies and cream, I agree, and send a copy of that particular excerpt from where Harry speaks of they not only told King C3 in space, it was space that told them to tell Cosplay, who probably told her mother. Well, all right. Hey, Miss Viv, how are you? And hi to Connie if you're out there. I saw your comment after the live stream on Thursday, but Donna Sellout Sour Lemon. Ooh, the nicknames y'all can come up with. Gwendolyn, Black Queen. That old queen needs to keep his mouth shut. Oh, jeez. Well, y'all know he's not right when he dressed up like Megan for Halloween. Like, excuse you, sir? Okay. Diane Hawkins, own downward spiral as a journalist if your new work uniform includes a skull cap and very warm waterproof coat. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Well, karma's just be snitching up. So to all those forgetting a little bit, just remind you that not only Meghan but Harry, this is for all the haters of the Sussexes. Okay, this is for you.
Yes, it's me. And you guys are angry about it. Oh my God, I make y'all feel that. Well, this will not take long. Well, I just wanted to pop up here and show y'all how I'm doing. I'm doing great. I'm looking great. I'm feeling great, I'm over here very booked and busy while you bitches over here are still looking raggedy and not doing shit. Wow. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know I'm not going anywhere. So talk your shit, you shitholes. You can't defeat a bad bitch. You just cannot do that. I rise above that. Ew. So I just want to say, hey, and that I'm here to stay, and you're going to be mad every day. Success.
Yes, success. So on that note, I'm just going to say thank you to all who have joined, even in the clouds and the space station. Thank you for the super stickers, super chats. Love you all. For all the new gifts, aka channel members, thank you. I'll start dropping some tidbits like I usually do for channel members only. So let me just peruse YouTube to make sure I haven't missed anything. I didn't see any. Okay. Uh-oh. What is this? Please don't mention the name. We don't want him getting any recognition because uh-oh. Okay. Oh, Compton Cali gal, how are you? All right. Okay. It must have been something else. Anyway, here goes my outro music. Please take care of yourself. Please wear your mask. Please be safe. Prayers to all that are sick. Love you all. Bye.